Lush, Executive Editor of Hub Culture, and very pleased to be here with Matthias Lufkens. How are you?
Very well, thanks for having me, Edie.
Thank you very much for coming along. Now, you run something called DigiTips, but back in the day, it's your fault that the forum is on social media, and I understand that it wasn't such an easy journey, was it?
Absolutely. So basically my claim to fame is to have put the World Epic Forum on social media, and that was in 2006, 20 years ago. And it was in June of that year, I said, why can't we put our videos on YouTube? And I was told, Matthias, the kids who are watching YouTube in their dorm rooms are not our target audience, number one. And secondly, nobody's going to watch these hour-long sessions, but you can put them. So obviously I did short videos and so on, but also the full sessions. And guess what? The kids in the dorm room grew up and they became CEOs who are here now. So, and basically the forum is on all major platforms, with the success that we know.
What has that done? What did that do at the time, do you think, for the trust in the forum, for the feeling that had been this closed shop that was now opening? What did it do?
It is exactly that. Through social media, we opened the forum to a global, worldwide audience, and that came on the back of the anti-globalization movement at the time from the left. So, kind of Davos is now accessible to anyone, at least the public sessions, and there are more than 200 sessions which are live streamed or, podcasted. So it's quite amazing how you can open that, really private meeting to a global audience.
So it's changed a lot. So I've been coming for 15, 16 years. I've slightly lost count. Every year is a slightly different year. There's a different feeling on the promenade. Sometimes it's more muted. Sometimes it's totally dominated by a certain world leader who may be arriving shortly. What's your sense of this year's Davos?
I mean, it's expanding, so basically expanding. If you have the Congress Center in Davos where you have the 3,000 participants, and then basically you have all the hangers-on, like me, where,
like me,
just here in Davos, walking up and down the promenade, and you bump into heads of state and government. I just, saw the King of Belgium. Of course, I didn't, talk to him, but I did have a short chat with Christine Lagarde, for example, the head of the ECB.
I ran into Tedros last night at Africa
Exactly,
House.
And I met, Olympians, a snowboarder from American Samoa or an ice skater from Turkey. So basically, the serendipity and the people you meet, the variety. That's what really makes Davos the city. Obviously, in the Congress Center, you have another level of people that you have access to. But and this is really I think dialogue is the drug of Davos, and that makes people come back.
Do you think it's still relevant? Before I was coming, I was having a look through all the major papers, and there's always this sense of, there's so many other places to go. You could go to Davos in the desert in Saudi Arabia. You could go to China. There's, New York, etc. There's other global forums.
Absolutely.
Is Davos still special?
I think Davos is special because it's happening in the mountains, 2.5 hours from the nearest airport. So it's still secluded, although Davos is an open city and anyone can come. And this is, the fun of it. You traipse up the mountain, the magic mountain. And this is something that you cannot replicate in New York or in Jeddah or in China. So I think this is really what makes, Davos so unique and special. And look at it, every year people are coming back and more people are coming, gravitating around it. So, yes, there are years when there are less world leaders than other years.
This year is a record
this
year,
is
right?
Absolutely insane.
G7 leaders, there's incredible amount of CEOs, tech unicorns,
you have to
number
be here.
of presidents and prime ministers.
Absolutely. I mean, this year you really have to be here, if you want to meet the world leader who is coming and probably wants to destroy, Davos and globalization and international cooperation. But we need international cooperation. So I think Davos will survive and will continue and will be useful.
Talk a little bit about this idea that Davos is exclusive, though, that it's for billionaires, it's for the rich people, the helicopters that fly in.
I don't think it is only for the rich people. If you look at the list of participants in the Congress Center, yes, you have 1,000 CEOs from the major companies in the world, but you also have NGOs, you have civil society, you have young global shapers, they're under 30 years old, so it's really it's a mix. I've been inside with the World Economic Forum on the comms team for 8 years, and believe me, this mix is just really what makes the Davos spirit of dialogue.
How's the gender equality going?
Well, Davos is, the mirror of society. So, gender equality could be better. It has improved over the years.
It's good with the YGLs, the Young Global Leaders.
Absolutely. You have the Young Global Leaders, the shapers, kind of absolutely. I mean, the World Economic Forum has imposed, at least one female participant from, companies with the executive board. So it's a step. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's not 50-50, but, we're getting there, I think.
It also does sometimes feel like a circus as you walk down the promenade, right? I mean, it's just, you've got the DHL robots cruising down, you've got every major company has their little place, everybody's giving you a hot chocolate or a soup, which is useful because sometimes you never know when your next meal is coming from. But I wonder if that's unhappy making for the forum because so much gets filtered outside of the Congress
Absolutely.
Center.
I mean, the danger for the World Economic Forum is, where the events are happening in the Congress Center, everything that's happening outside now, with over 700 side events and panel discussions, etc., that the outside program will overtake the official program. So basically, I heard, they might actually declare, the entire promenade, so the strip, as a security zone, so you would need access to that. Well, right now it's open. I wish they would make it pedestrianized, because you have a line of limousines and cars going through, and basically they're just chock-a-block, they're stuck in traffic at lunchtime and in the evening. It's much better to walk. And business leaders, world leaders are walking everywhere.
Right. Thank you so much, Matthias, for stopping by the Hub Culture studio here in the sunshine in Davos.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I'm Edie Lush.